Meta ads testing. For the first time ever, you'll discover how to test ads and get valid results in just 24 hours. Now, here's the kicker without spending more than $30 in ad budget. Now, why should you care? Listen, every serious marketer on the planet believes in ad tests, and it's for a good reason. The reason is the market decides. You can dream up a beautiful ad copy, fantasize over a very crazy, ad video you've made, but none of those things matter in the end. It is the audience that votes for what captivates them. And they don't vote with nice words, they vote with their wallets. Now, that's the reason why we test ads before spending a ton of money on them, so that we can pull more of our resources behind proven winners instead of duds. But how's ad test done? Everyone tells you to create different ad angles, put a nice little budget on each of them, and wait a couple of days, say 3 days, to see which ones work. I too have told people to do this, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's actually a valid way to test your ads. But here's the problem: it takes too long to see the results. 3 days is a long time to see results from a test. It costs a lot more money because you have different angles. You put in a nice little budget on each of them, and then it costs a lot of money. And because these angles were so different, it didn't make much sense. I mean, the results didn't make much sense since we don't know the exact reason why one angle worked and why the other didn't work and all that. So at best, we would just assume, okay, maybe this resonated better with the audience. For sure, that's what happened. But why did it resonate better? We don't know. So, but things have changed. There's a newer and much better way to test ads that can help you identify proven winners fast without burning through cash. That way, you're able to scale your business, take profits, and go home before your competitors realize what's happening. And for the first time ever, I'm willing to reveal this 24-hour test secret so you can make more money from your offers. So, how are you going to implement these testing methods? It's with a strategy introduced by MinCRO called the color blocks. Now, the color blocks is a specific technique used to isolate ideas that work perfectly well with your audience. Let me show you an example of what the color block look like. Now, this is a color block. I want you to forget about the text written on on the image. I just want you to focus on the I won't maybe almost a square. This square right here. You see, the square has two colors, yellow and a shade of green. Okay. Now, it could be any two contrasting colors. It mustn't be this exact color. Okay. Just the most important thing is that the colors are contrasting. If you are someone who is into fashion, color blocks is a concept that I'm sure you are already familiar with. Now, you're going to put text on this colors, and the text will help you to the colors the color block will help to stop the scroll. It's a scroll stopper. Just it forces people to stop and take a look. Okay, and the text on it is the idea that we want to test. Just this idea. Okay, in this example, it says, I get panic attacks thinking about another 30 years of repetitive task if I don't start a business soon. Okay, now the ideas that fit on this that we put on the color blocks are going to be taken from our market pain, or it could be taken from offer attributes or big ideas. You know, we most important thing is that we want to be testing ideas, pains, attributes, and that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go deeper into, how the whole testing thing works. I want to give you like a 30,000 foot view of the entire thing. So the first thing is that we craft market pain on the color blocks. Typically, a round of testing, we have 10 to 12 ads on those color blocks, different ideas, okay? And then we're going to use a special setup which you'll be seeing to create the ads, different from what you're used to. And then we're going to evaluate the results and use certain metric to select the winners, the ideas that have won. And once we've done that, we can now build our campaigns, our ads based off those winners. Okay. And even your sales pages, your landing pages, your VSLs will all, extract ideas from this test, and you use that to improve the strength of your overall campaign. So let's get into the business of actually setting things up. We'll begin with looking at the market pane and designing the color blocks. Now, we already came up with a number of things that were extracted from social media like YouTube, Reddit, and Amazon, the e-commerce website where we just checked on books in the industry and checked the reviews of those books. Now we've gotten a whole lot of pain here, and so we're going to test a couple of them. You already have an idea of what the color block looks like, and so I've gone ahead to fill these pages with 12 different ideas that I'm going to be testing. Okay, so we have different ideas. The first one is true or false, where we just say true or false and then we put the idea we want to test underneath. So this one says true or false, the job I'm doing is not my passion at all. The next one says true or false, I'm making six figures, don't have any debt, but close to quitting because of stress. So this one just has a title, side hustle. So it could be anything, backpack, water bottle, um, bag, But anyway, side hustle, you have like the title of the main thing you want to talk about underneath. And you say, I have a lot of questions about how to start and when to start. You see, these are direct ideas that I just picked up from here, right? If you read through, you would see some of them here. Okay. And the next one, true or false, my corporate job is sucking away my energy for everything else. Let me look for that. They're here. All of them are here. I get panic attacks thinking about another 30 years of repetitive weeks. Okay, so I just, paraphrased some of them and threw them back into into the template. Stuck in the corporate job rat race. Stuck in the I want to quit my job, but I can't loop. Now, I this was something I was seeing quite often. A lot of people saying, I want to quit my job, but I can't, or it's difficult. So I just added stuck in the and and loop. Okay. This one, people's stories where they talk about how they, got a good degree, got a good job, but unfortunately, they still don't have financial freedom and stuff like that. So, this is the check, 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 nope, or check, check, nope. So it says degrees, check, good job, check, financial freedom, nope. So you start with the things they've thought will give them, what they want, and you put nope, okay? I get panic attacks thinking about another 30 years of repetitive tasks if I don't start a business soon. So you can see I paraphrased the market pain there. Best online course ever, no fluff, just straight to the point with relevant information. So this like a testimonial, like a review, right? So you have something for your if it's a physical product, you could use a review from a customer. Oh, the bags, the water bottle has the best cap, it seals well, water doesn't spill out, stuff like that. I don't know why I'm talking about water bottles a lot, because there's one on my table right now as I'm making this video. Okay, but you get the idea. You just want to have reviews in some of them and all, and reviews and all of stuff like that. True or false? Online business advice on TikTok is garbage. True or false? My corporate job is boring me and I want to start a real business. Um, True or false? I have skills, knowledge, or hobbies people pay to learn online. Okay, so some of these, like this one now, is it's not a pay now. It's just an idea that one I was trying to test out as well. Okay, so now you want to make sure that the texts are readable, they are big enough to be read, and don't don't want to have more than 3 lines. So one, two, then you can have a third line. Okay, so you have to find a way, just like this 1, 2, 3. You have to find a way to ensure that you have 3 lines. So you want to summarize that point, make it succinct, and make it understandable. The person should understand it in an instant. The pain, right? And that's why you want to work with what the ideas you got from here, and of course some of your offer attributes that you want to test as well. Okay, and then when you get the results, you can use that to enhance your big ideas and your offer attributes, and then use that to build your campaigns around them and also your ads as well. Okay, so now I want you to download the color block test template. You don't have to download it. I mean, just create a Canva account and then click on the link that will be somewhere in the page where you're watching this video. So, and just click make a copy. It will duplicate this entire copy for you, everything here. And then you can use this to come up with yours. Just make sure that they are pain points, okay? The pain points of your audience for whatever you sell, right? You could talk about things, pain points related to price, emotional pain points, financial pain points, all the things that are affecting your customers. So you could talk about, you could say the water bottles I'm seeing are too expensive. Water bottle again. Okay, no. You could say shopping for clothes are now more expensive than than it should, right? Think you want to talk about pains, right, that you've gotten from real customer interaction. Okay, and now that you've done that, we want to proceed to the next step, which is to create the campaign. So you're going to head to your business manager and open your ad account, your ads manager. Okay, and then once you're on the screen, you're going to click create. Of course, all these things might change. Facebook loves to change things, but I don't want you to get worried. No matter what they do, there's always going to be a create button. Okay, so just locate the create button. Now we have a set of things we want to do. Okay, and I'll just take you to my slides where you're going to see them. So here's what we want to do. We want to create a campaign that has the objective of traffic, and then we are going to turn off at the campaign level. We're going to turn off A and B testing, make sure it's turned off. We're going to turn off campaign budget optimization, and we're going to leave the buying type as auction. If it's not already selected as auction, you want to make sure it's selected as auction. So let's begin. So we've opened the ads manager. The next step is to click on traffic. Okay, so this is not your main campaign, this is just a test. Otherwise, we would have been using sales. Okay, so we're going to do traffic, and just ignore recommended settings. Don't worry, click on manual and click continue. Now you should have a nice page that looks like this, and then you can give your campaign a name. You can say from employee to business owner test. Okay, you could give it any name. Okay, now you want to check, make sure this buying type is auctions, right? You want to make sure that the campaign objective is traffic, A and B test turned off, advantage campaign budget, which is to be CBO, you want to make sure that's turned off as well. Then you click on next, or you could click here to go to your ad set, or you could click here, whichever rocks your boat. Now, at the ad set level, we also want to do a couple of things, and let's look at what those things are. So, this is the list of the things that we want to do. We want to get an audience size that's around 4 to 5 million that we are going to set up using um, interest targeting. Okay, for your main campaigns, you don't need to bother about interest, but this one, there's a reason why we have to do it, is to make sure that from the instant Facebook is trying to reach those kind of people. Okay, and then we're going to set our optimization to link clicks, and we're going to set the daily budget to be around $25 to $30, and we are going to test all the 12 color blocks that you've created, and then you can do more tests if you want to, or if you don't find winners. And then we're going to turn off some of the placements, like the right column ads and the Facebook and Instagram reels. We're going to turn them off because some of those, the color blocks, number one, would not show properly in the right column. Number two, on the reels, you're going to get some accidental clicks. So we want it showing up on the normal Facebook ads while people are scrolling, and we want them to take action. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at what we could do, how we go about that. So the first one, let's give it a nice little name. We could say funny name, it doesn't matter. And we're going to change the conversion location to website. Performance goal will be to maximize the number of link clicks. And then the budget, you're going to set it at $20 or $25. The start time, do not start your campaigns when it is too late. Like, don't start your campaigns after 12 o'clock, or even by this time, 11 a.m. I'm not going to let the campaign start running around this time, because Facebook will try to use up all your money within that time frame, and they will just overspend without you getting enough data. So I always like to start my campaigns on a new day. So I'll just select 8th of July, and I could say 00 hours, or I could say 8 o'clock, right? And it's fine. It's up to you. Then, in fact, 8 o'clock is even too late. I prefer 6. Then you can go ahead to set up your audience. Okay. Now, what location should you target? If you're selling something worldwide, then you should use the United States, because the United States has the highest quality traffic that I know about. If you know any other one, you could let me know. But the United States has the highest quality traffic in the world when it comes to ads. And if your worldwide campaign if you can test it, the ideas in the United States, the better for you. But if you're have nothing to do with the US and it's a completely different market from you, maybe you're in Asia, you're in Africa, you're not in North America, and your product is actually niche to people in a certain area, then you can use that area. Just that I won't have the right metrics for you. But if you're targeting North America, Europe, or worldwide, then I would recommend that you use the United States as your location. Next, we are going to talk about your targeting, your audience size. As you can see, the US has 140 million to 164 million, but those are not the people we want to reach. So you're going to click on switch to original audience options. So we could do some nice things. Ignore all the warnings and start setting it up. Okay. So first, we have a lot of options that we can play around with: the age, the gender, and then the interest. Okay, so let me type, let me get 2 interests that might be reasonable, 1 or 2. Let's see. We could talk about, let's say, product managers. Let's see what size it is. I don't want job titles. Okay. So that didn't work well. Let's see product management. So there's an interest for product management. Okay, so that's just perfect. 6 million to 7 million people. I could decide to take it down by adding maybe to the age and saying I want someone who's like 27 or 25. See what happens. Okay, still, see 27. So this gives me the perfect audience. Otherwise, this is one of the times where you are allowed to add exclusions and define further. Okay. But I'm not going to be excluding anyone. I'll rather define further. I could say and also match, let's say, career development. Okay, so but I'm not going to do this because I already got my audience of 5 million. Remember who said you want 5 to 10 million. So I'm just going to take this off, right? Then make sure this is not checked. Don't run a split test here, right? The next thing you want to do is to set up your placements. You don't want it as advantage placements. You want it as manual. So you're going to click edit there and click manual placements. Now here, you're going to remove the Facebook right column. Okay. And also you're going to remove Instagram and Facebook and Instagram Reels. Okay. So let's start with Reels because that one's very easy. Just take this off. In-stream ads for videos. Okay, that's fine. Wes, I would also take off search results. Okay, I will take these off as well. Facebook right column off, and also the reels are also taken off. So I think we're good, just like this. Okay. Then you're going to click next here, or you click on traffic, or you click one ad. It's up to you, whatever rocks your boat. Before we go any further, let's go and spy what we need to do to make our ads. So first, we want to isolate variables. So we want to test in one idea at a time. So we're going to be using our color blocks, and our primary text is going to be blank. The headline is going to be something basic, nothing serious, just ladies store, women fashion, men fashion, things like that. Okay. We're not going to use anything that's extraordinary, persuasive, or compelling, just something basic. And then for the description, we don't want Facebook to automatically pull that information from your website. So we're going to, enter space 3 times. And then the URL, if you have an existing website, which you should, you want to use that URL. If you're testing for a specific product, a specific digital product, physical product, use the URL that links to the product. Okay. Your call to action is going to be your basic learn more, and then you're going to turn off optimizations. That is one that I'm going to show you because it's very tricky right now with what Facebook is doing. So you want to make sure it's turned off. So let's head back. So your traffic name, your ad name, sorry, you could say sample ad. It doesn't matter, like I say. Okay, but I usually give my numbers, so you can say sample ad 1. Mind you, we're going to have 12. Okay, so you want to have a way to identify them easily. It's up to you. Identity, you're going to select your page, right? And then manual upload, you're going to make sure multi-advertiser ads is turned off, single image or video. And then when it comes to media, you're going to click add media, add image. And then you can see I've uploaded all my color blocks. So you just select one of them. Maybe you can select the first one to make things easy. And at this point, you click next. See, it takes you to optimization, right? You can see on, and that's not good because if you turn them on, if you leave them turned on, Facebook is going to try to mix match different things to try to get people to click, and you don't want that. Okay, so you're going to turn all of them on and click all of them off. So that's a simple trick to turning all of them off at once instead of having to do it one after the other. Okay, and then click done. Now the next thing is your primary text. You're going to leave this blank. Your headline, you're going to say something like, in my case, I'm going to use from employee to online business owner. Okay, let's turn on ad preview so we can look at it. Okay, let me turn off that form that is showing. Browser add-ons form, no. Okay, there's no preview for your ad. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, while that's going on, I wonder what's going on. Maybe because I've not added the URL, so let me add the URL. Facebook sometimes is gets buggy. Okay, so let's just say okay, let's see what happens with the ad previews. Okay, good, it's working now. So you can see from employee to online business owner. But I want to make sure Facebook doesn't bring anything up, because if I use something like, let's say, online business, just 2 words, you can see that it has pulled out a description here, right? So to get that off, click in the description box like this and press space 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see it's gone off. Okay, so I'm going to revert to my previous employee to online business. Okay, so it's what I'm going to be using, but you don't need to use this. But I am testing a specific idea. But if you can just say something like women fashion, men fashion. Just think about the library. Where does your business fit in, like in a library, like a book or a section or something? So that's just what you want to put, like a category. Okay. And then when you're done with that, you want to make sure the button is left as learn more. Okay. And then we've turned off all optimizations. Don't click try it now. You've included your website, and this should be turned off. You want to select website event tracking to make sure you're tracking stuff. If it's an app, don't forget to check all this. Okay. So with that said, you're going to duplicate this, of course, 12 times. So you click on duplicate and you just put in here 11. Turn this off because it's not even going to work anyway, and you hit duplicate. Now you now have a lot of work to do. You click on one, you come up. The only thing you're going to change is the image. Okay, so just delete that, add the next one. Okay, make sure this is turned off, so you click all and off. Okay, done. And you give it another name, sample ad what 2. So you're going to do this for every single one of them. Anyone that has copy, you're going to change, so I'll just do 3 for you, so you see what it looks like. Okay, don't forget optimizations, on, off, done, right? And then you change this to 3. Okay, so that's that. And once you're done with that, you hit on publish. Okay, now that you've published all of them, I'm going to give you the rules that we are going to set. Okay, so let's close this, because you need to set 2 rules. Okay, you click on more, you select the campaign you want like this, and then you click on more, and then you say create rule. Okay, now what rules are we going to set? And I'll tell you the reason. So let's go to our expo and see the rules. The first rule is the ad impression greater than 400. Now, you have 12 ads in one ad set. That tells you that Facebook is going to favor some of them and just keep showing those ones. So you want to limit, you want to make sure that each ad gets seen at most around 400 times, okay? Like 380 to 400, 500 times, okay? Now, otherwise, that ad is going to take up all the money and the other ones are not going to get tested. You have a $25 budget, okay? Now you're going to apply the rule to just this campaign, okay? So it doesn't affect other campaigns in your ad manager, except you're using this ad manager strictly for testing. And then the action is that it's going to turn off the ad whenever the impressions are greater than 400. And like I said, the reason why you're doing this is to ensure that no ad gets shown too many times and doesn't allow other ads to get tested. It's the same with the second rule. You want to prevent an ad from spending more than $10. Okay. So imagine one ad spending $10. $10 out of your $25 or $30 budget. That's ridiculous. Okay. So you want to say if it spent greater than $10 stop loss, it means that's likely not working. Okay. And you want to follow the exact same rules that you've done for the first one. So let's get back to the ads manager and see what we're going to do. So let me just do that again so you can see it. You select the campaign you want, you click on more, and you click create a new rule, right? And we want it to be a custom rule. You click next and you give the rule a name. So you say impressions greater than 400. Apply rule 2. You want to select active ads in one campaign. Okay, and the action should be turn off ads. So now you just search for impressions, not lifetime impressions, I meant the real impressions. Okay, it's greater than, you say 400, and you click on add or you press enter. Now the time range maximum, run continuously, and then you talk about notification. You want to leave that turned on. Of course, I don't think you can even turn it off. Okay, and then you click create. Then you want to make the second rule following the same information. You click that, you say, you can just call this one stop loss. Okay, same thing, you're applying the rule to all the ads, and the action is to turn off the ad. You want to say spent if it's greater than $10. You want it to turn it off. Time range maximum, run continuously, and you want to check the notification, then create. So that's how you make the rules. Okay, that's how you make the rules. Now the next is for us to identify which ones are the winners. Okay, which campaigns, which ads and ideas have won. So I'm just going to discard this and I'll show you how to the metric with which we judge the winners. So let's go back, and here's how we get the winners. So if the cost per click is less than 50 cents, that's usually an indicator that it's a winner. You also want to make sure that that ad has 400 impressions and it has at least at most 50 cents per click, cost per click. Okay, now you want to make sure that it has a minimum of 4 clicks per impression. You want to ensure that you're having at least a 1% click-through rate. Okay, now the exceptions to these rules. Now if you're in an industry that costs a lot more per click, you cannot use 50 cents. You have to use something that's within your industry's benchmark. Okay, and if you're in advertising a region that also is different, like let's say in Asia or Africa, somewhere cheaper, you cannot use 50 cents and say, oh, I've got a great ad, I've got a winner. You have to use the benchmark in your area. Okay, so if a lot of your ads are having something very low, and you should know that, okay, it's within that range. Okay, so that's what we are going to do, and the click-through rate, make sure that it is greater than 1%. So let's go back to our ads manager and see the results of some of the testings that I did. Okay, so here for this product, here are the 12 ads. This one was rejected, right? This one was rejected, and some of the others got turned off. So I'll just scroll through, and then I'll sort by the cost per click. Okay. So you can see these ones are expensive, expensive, expensive until it gets here. Okay, so this one is 0.4. Okay, 0.46. You can see the click-through, the click-through rate, but this is the link click-through rate, and this is the click-through rate for all. But I like the link click-through rate, so you can modify and include link click-through rate by clicking on breakdown, and when you do that, by clicking on performance and clicks, you can now customize the columns, right? You can say link. What am I typing? And then you can check any one you want. So unique link clicks, cost per unique link click, etc. You can click on apply. Okay, so that way you have a good idea of what you're doing. That's if your setup does not look like mine. Okay, so now I know all those ones, they cost less than 50 cents because I targeted the United States, and so they are winners. Okay, so the click-through rates also are good. The lowest was this one, which had a 1% click-through rate. The others are pretty high, which tells me that those ideas were resonating very well with the audience. So let's see the winners. Okay, this one says, I have a lot of questions about how to start and when to start. Side hustle, right? This one says, I'm making 6 figures, don't have any debt, but close to quitting because of stress, right? And the third one says, degrees, check, good job, check, financial freedom, nope. I say the fourth one, I get panic attacks thinking about another 30 years of repetitive tasks if I don't start a business soon. And my corporate job is sucking away my energy for everything else, true or false. Stalking, I want to quit my job, but I can't loop. Online business advice on TikTok is garbage. So those are the winners based on the cost per click and the click-through rates having been delivered for 400 impressions. So based on that information, I can now begin to build out my campaigns. I have luckily 7 winners. It could be a lot less. You could have 3. Okay, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that we're going to build our campaigns, our sales pages, optimize our landing pages, sales pages, VSLs using that information. And we're also going to be crafting our ads using the information from the ads that performed the best. That's the end of this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.